Johnny McGonigal, Blue-White Day 2025 is in the books. White wins, a rare white win, 10-8. No one really cares about that.
No, not at all.
Honestly, Johnny, maybe the biggest news did not involve the Blue-White game. It was a transfer portal addition from Syracuse, a wideout. But let's just look at the Blue-White game and what kind of impressed you. I was really impressed by a true freshman corner, and I think it was interesting, and I think you caught it as well. The backup quarterback battle after today, I thought it was over. It's not over.
No, it's not. This is a battle that's going to go on into August training camp, probably the early parts of the season between Ethan Grunkmeyer and Jackson Smolik. And we were talking earlier in the spring, Bob, when James said that it's going to be a tight battle. It's going to be.
I didn't believe him.
I really didn't believe him.
I thought Smolik was cooked. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
he's not.
No, Smolik, who redshirt sophomore, who. Missed all of last season with an injury. Ethan Grunkmeyer filled in as Drew Aller's backup quarterback during the CFP run when Bo Perbula entered the transfer portal. When he entered the portal and ultimately left for Missouri, Grunkmeyer was the guy that if something happened to Drew, he would have stepped in and played in the CFP. But Jackson Smolik this spring, James said it earlier that he didn't really have the rust that you would expect coming off a season-ending injury, and he didn't look like it out there. The one throw he had to Lyric Samuel, the 40-yard touchdown.
Windy day, too.
Windy day, off balance, off his back foot, and put it where it needed to be. He made some really nice throws all day, got in rhythm. So did Ethan Grunkmeyer, though, too, finding Tyseer Denmark a few times on a drive. So we didn't get the stats. There's no official stats for the Blue-White game, but both quarterbacks look good, and that's a competition that we both expect will go on for a long time.
Yeah, and I think for the fans, too, one of the things, you look at Grunkmeyer, he looks like a classic prototypical quarterback, can throw the ball. He can throw the ball probably 60 yards on the line. I don't know if Smolik's that guy. He's not the biggest guy, but he makes plays, and playmaking is what it's all about.
A little gritty.
He made some plays in this game, and James even said it, Smolik coming off an injury, he bounced back. I think James was a little surprised too, but he's got a real live competition on his hands, and it's important. And he also talked about the fact that this is Drew's last year, and whoever wins the job, they got to find a way to get them involved in the offense and not just on the last two plays of a game in September.
Yeah, and what I was looking at really closely throughout this afternoon was who those guys were throwing to. I mentioned Tyseer Denmark, second-year wide receiver out of Philly, put together a nice spring. But also the transfer wide receivers as the wind blows in our face. This is what the quarterbacks had to deal with today. But Devontae Ross from Troy, Kyron Hudson from USC, they enrolled in January. We're here all spring. Devontae Ross in particular really impressed me. The way they used him throughout the offense. It feels like a little nice chess piece that Andy Kotelnicki has. Had a couple jet sweeps, had a deep ball that Drew Aller just barely overthrew him on. And then so you add those two with the guys who are already coming back, and then Pena from Syracuse, who had crazy good production for the Orange last year. He was on the sidelines here, announcing earlier today that he's leaving the portal and coming to Penn State. So that wide receiver room is looking a heck of a lot better right now than it was back in January after that Orange one.
Transfer portal heavy wide receiver room, but a couple of them looked like they had good springs. We'll see what the Syracuse kid could do. I thought coming into spring, Johnny, I thought the Penn State corner room, even though Jalen Kimber moved on, I thought it was a team strength, and it definitely is. You have A.J. Harris, but also what Elliott Washington and Aldavian Collins were able to do. I think they had the attention of Jim Knowles and also Zion Tracy from last year. But I want to talk about somebody else, the January enrollee, Darius Dixon, who you can just tell out there, that kid is legit. Penn State's got a track record of playing true freshman corners right away. This guy's got ideal size. He showed up in the run game, in pass coverage. He's got size. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how they're going to fit him in the rotation, but you're going to see number 5, that is Dixon, on the field in the fall. It's only a matter of time until he's a really, really good player at Penn State. He can do it all. I was very impressed. I haven't seen a true freshman play like that quickly in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, he laid a big hit out there late in the I think it was the third or fourth quarter.
Josiah Brown, I think, got it.
Josiah Brown got the lick, and we were talking to some of the players after the game. Dom DeLuca, he was asked about that hit the linebacker. He's like, "Oh yeah, I saw it. Like everyone saw it."
I heard it. I was way up in the wind. I heard that. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's a deep, talented corner room that Penn State has. John Mitchell, redshirt freshman, entering the portal, kind of saw the writing
Now you
on the
know
wall.
why.
That, yeah. Not only are there's a lot of veterans in that group, but then you got players like Dixon, who was one of the highest rated, if not by some services, the highest rated player in Penn State's 2025 recruiting class, and there's a reason why.
Yeah. One last thing, and I thought it was interesting that he brought it up. They're still not done sniffing around, I think, in the transfer portal. He mentioned linebacker, and he all but said it. He's a little worried about the depth there. I think he should be there. They got, Rojas coming off an injury. They lose Kobe King. He's like, they didn't expect to lose Tamir Robinson. That's who he meant. He didn't mention him by name specifically, but that's who he meant. He's at another school. They're going to play a lot of 2 linebacker sets with the 4-2-5, but if they lose either Dom or Rojas, that's a problem, and I don't think they're done looking at the linebacker position. I think he's legitimately concerned about it. I know they like Anthony Specca. I thought LeVar Arrington did some nice things to do, the true freshman, but I do think that's something to watch in this offseason.
Yeah, something to keep in mind is that the transfer portal is now closed for entrance for undergraduate.
Right.
Entrance graduate players, graduate transfers can enter at any time. So that's something that they'll be monitoring. And then also anyone who's in the portal right now that hasn't landed with a school yet, it's not like today or yesterday was the deadline for them to land at a school. So there are still options out there for Penn State at linebacker and other positions as well, but linebacker is definitely one they're still looking at.
That's it for the blue and white game. Penn State's spring season, Johnny, is over, but the real season for a very talented team, it's going to get real interesting in August, and I'm really excited to see what happens with this team.
Absolutely.